I've often said on the show that I'll occasionally do things that scare me. This is one of them. You're watching PrePack. So I've been doing a bunch of 5Ks around here lately. The last 5K I went to had a raffle, and one of the prizes on the raffle was several of these. So what exactly is this? This is an energy gel, a ultra endurance energy gel. But what this is meant for is mostly for high performance athletes, for marathoners and stuff like that. So I've got slated out about a 10-mile hike, and it's going to be an urban hike. So I'm not going to be too terribly out of the woods here. And I've got 3 of these things. And I got to use these up because from what they told me in email, this goes bad like next month. Which is why I'm kind of scared about this stuff. The way you're supposed to do this is you're supposed to have one of these 15 minutes before you start, and then every 45. It even says so right on the tear top here. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take one of these now, go about 15 minutes, and then start hiking, and then we're going to see how it goes. Okay, now the fun part, taste testing. I'm supposed to take it with lots of water. I do have a 2-liter Camelback. I've got my backpack with me because there's no way in hell I'm doing this. Well, it feels like it's cheating if I don't have weights. Rip the top right off, and okay, that's strawberry scent hits you right off the bat. The citrus hits you, which is good. Maybe not citrus. I don't know. Is kiwi citrus? Let's see if I can actually kind of show you. It's sort of amberish. I think the idea is just go for it. Yeah. Okay, it swallows easy, that's good. It doesn't taste gross. Honestly, it's not like it's making me retch from that. I think it's just more the consistency. But it's very sticky. It's just got this really kind of sticky feel to it. That's the best way I can describe it. The strawberries is kind of very gentle taste. The kiwi is also pretty gentle taste. But it swallows pretty easy. And I think the retching is just because it's a texture thing. But I suppose it's not meant to be. It's not really meant to be savored and enjoyed. It's kind of meant to put it in your system and keep going. Because these are the kind of things that you see endurance athletes. They will have like 5 or 6 of these things on a belt, and this is what they're gonna use on a marathon. Literally, this is body fuel. So what we're gonna do now is basically I'm gonna pack up, and we're going for a hike. For those of you playing along at home, the first album of choice is going to be Oingo Boingo's Farewell Tour. Let's go for a hike. So we're about the 45-minute mark, and this is going to be interesting because I'm trying to hold a camera and do this simultaneously. Because what I'm guessing is this stuff is meant to be taken on the run. So we're going to see how well that works. Almost a disaster. I don't think this stuff is meant to be taken while you're filming yourself doing it. Okay, I still can't get over the texture. The flavor's fine. It's the texture. It's that sort of, it's not quite honey. It's not quite jelly. I don't know what to describe it as. It's not quite Elmer's paste either. Now the only problem with this stuff, at least as far as hiking with it, now I got garbage. So now what do I do with it? A lot of people have said, just dump it on the side of the road, nobody's gonna care. Well, I'm gonna care. And now the fun part, hiking along a section that has no sidewalk. Oh, by the way, I am the walrus. That's what I'm on right now if you're playing along at home. Alright, so it's about time for the next 45-minute one, and here's where the experiment gets a little interesting. This is the last one. And I've got another, by my guess, hour and a half worth of hiking to go. This will be fun. It's the texture. There's just something about that texture that's just, I don't know. And once again, I got sticky garbage. But the nice thing about being in a city, there's gonna be a garbage can here someplace. But the other thing about this, I seem to be drinking a lot more water than normal. And for those of you keeping score at home, it's the second half of change. Say what you want about Oingo Boingo, they knew how to put out a concert. There's one other wrinkle to this experiment that I haven't mentioned until now. Haven't really eaten anything all day, so I'm hungry, but I still feel energized. So I mean, that's kind of the interesting thing about this. I'm probably gonna take care of the like solid, hard, like real food pretty soon. I don't care if it's not what you're supposed to do when you're exercising. I like tacos. Gotta do this one kind of fast. Starting to run out of light. The sun's gonna go down any minute now. About time. Okay. 3 street tacos and a small order of potato lays later. So I have a chance to check my water. This is a 2-liter, well, this is the drinking end of a 2-liter bottle of, again, a Camelback on my back. Down to about half a liter. I've been sucking down water at an alarming pace, and that's not normal. The only thing that's really bothering me is my ankle, but I did roll it over the weekend, so there you are. I don't even know if you guys can see me right now. Less than half a mile to go. It's been about 24 hours, a little less than 24 hours since I started the hike yesterday, and I'm still paying for it. I wanted to do a capper last night in the Jeep, but yeah, I was hurting. I'll get to why in just a second. And it was dark, so the camera really wasn't going to pick up much of anything. So we're doing it now. And it's raining outside, which is why I am in here. I do have one more packet from the same company. Goo, I found out, is what they want to pronounce themselves as. Very aptly named for what they do. But it's the first 3 ingredients that's on this. This is their normal gel pack, and the Rocktane, which is what I was using yesterday. The first 3 ingredients are what I want to talk about, and that is maltodextrin, water, and fructose. Essentially, this is a sugar bomb. Now, people are going to argue with me that maltodextrin is a complex carbohydrate, but essentially your body handles it like sugar. So what happened was I had taken 3 of these things that had real food, and then about 5-6 miles in to a 10-mile hike, my body just said, done. Sugar crash. Okay, people are going to argue about the word sugar crash into this, but you understand what I mean, so just So yeah, the last couple miles were just miserable because I had no energy, because I had taken, basically your body handles maltodextrin as sugar, so yeah, way too much of that, and it just didn't work. In hindsight, what I should have done was I should have had the first 2 of these things, eaten real food, and then saved the last one for like the last 2 miles, but hindsight is always 20/20. Something else that's not mentioned anywhere on this or on their website is how much water you should drink. I made the observation yesterday that I had blown through 1.5 liters worth of water after having 3 of these things. Yeah, that's not uncommon. But like I said, Goo and most of the other places don't tell you how much water you should drink. I had to actually find it on a competitor's website. And what they said was that you should have about 4 ounces of water while having the energy gel, and then drink somewhere between 10 to 14 ounces of water after, before you take the next one. So you have to drink about, roughly about that much water between energy gels. And if you're thinking that sounds like a lot of water, I guess this is kind of a problem because a lot of athletes, a lot of endurance athletes don't drink enough water. Something else I should mention too, when I'm hiking with the backpack on, even though I've got the 2-liter Camelback on me, I always have one of these on me specifically so I can put in, I've got powdered energy drinks in there. Yeah, if you're going to be going with energy gels, do not mix them with energy drinks. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not going to pretend like I know how this works. But it has something to do with how your body absorbs these different things and how everything interacts. Just pick one or pick the other. So let's wrap this one up here, specifically talking about the Rocktanes and about that. Would I use them again? Well, actually I would, but I would handle them a little differently. Even though they recommend, in this case, they're saying that you should have this like 5 minutes before and then every 45 minutes, I wouldn't do it that way, personally. And a lot of places will tell you, you know, find the schedule that works for you. I would use this as a boost. Honestly, I would have preferred to have one of these things when I was doing paintball stuff. As long as you had water on you. And actually, for paintball players, these are still available, PB water pods. And this holds more than enough water to make this worthwhile. So for a scenario game, these would have been fantastic because, okay, you walk back out to the dead box, you have a place that you can take your goggles off, in the safe zone. So you rip one of these things, you down with a whole bunch of water, and then you get back out there and you should be okay. So for things like that, I would do that. But for what I was doing yesterday, I would not stay on the timetable because that just doesn't work for me. Does it actually help? Yeah, I kind of felt like it did. But then again, anything that gives you that quick energy boost is going to help. Yesterday on that hike, the first half of that hike when I was using these things, it's like, I always liken it to MC Escher because it's all uphill. Even the downhills feel like they're uphill. It's amazing. And I didn't feel fatigued during the first half of the hike. It wasn't until the crash that I felt good right up to that point. But there's also one other limiting factor to this one, and it's the price point. The Rocktane gel you can buy it directly from the company. It's $60 for a box of 24. That averages out to about $2.50 per packet. They're normal energy packets, like this one here. I believe that these average out to about $1.30, $1.50 per. That's a little more reasonable. And there's a lot of other energy gels out there that are a little less expensive than that as well. But would it be worth the money? I guess if I were like, if I were a marathoner, or if I were somebody who was really, really into getting a personal time, getting a personal best on speed runs, maybe. I would possibly do that. But I don't know. It's definitely not something that I would tell you to steer away from. If it's something that you're like, hey, that could be kind of useful for, then I would say, you know, go to a local store and pick one of these up and try it. The investment is not really that high. You can give it a whirl, see if it's your kind of thing. Okay, we're going to call it at that. And meanwhile, I've got one way to deal with having a little bit too much stress pain from yesterday. Vitamin I, always your friend.